What's up everybody, Nick Fit here with another tutorial. In this week's edition, I'm going to talk a whole lot about ways you can still get your workout at home without using your typical barbells and dumbbells. The first thing I'm going to say though, before we get into that, is that I noticed there are a lot of people that still want to get their workouts. They have tried the body weight thing. Maybe that works, or maybe they would like to just do something different, add something different to their workout, add a little more weight to their workout, and it's not based on body weight. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about and showcasing some ways that you can use everyday objects around the house in order to still get your workout done. Okay, so if that's what you're into, this video is for you. Now, before we continue, I'm going to say this. Please, be safe. Focus on safety while you're performing any workout, especially ones with a more rustic approach. And I'm going to explain what I mean rustic in a second. So if you're using any kind of weight, whether it be a dumbbell, a barbell, or just something around the house, please be very careful with what you're using. Okay? Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the floor, something you don't want to slip and have something fall on you. Okay? And take the necessary precautions accordingly. Wear shoes, closed toe shoes, so that if anything hits you, it doesn't lob off your toe, right? And in terms of the rustic stuff now, what I'm talking about, let me give you an example. So back in the day, I say back in the day is really just last year. Back in the day before COVID, what we used to do is we'd go down by the tennis court, me and a group of guys, and we would train pretty much Monday to Friday, okay? And what we coined ourselves on is being able to use a very natural, very rustic approach. So we'd use body weights, but we would take anything we found and we would use it. So we would say, hey, that post over there has been unearthed. There's a big piece of concrete sticking out of one end. So let's take that and do squats, you know, with a shoulder raise. Let's take that and do, you know, twists for the abs. Let's take that and do something like this. Then we would say, okay, here's another post. Let's take 2 cement blocks, one on one side, one on the other, and we do biceps. We would do an overhead press. We would do a bent over row, you know, and moves like that. We would take 1 block, maybe lift it like that for a front raise, maybe pull it to the chest here for another version of a row, and whatnot. So that's what I mean by rustic, using cinder blocks, using a table, using a chair, using anything you find in order to get your workout. You can still do that, but understand that, again, safety. Second of all, you know, in terms of with cinder blocks, maybe one block is a 14-inch, the other one is a 16-inch, the weight is going to vary. Okay, so be aware that the weight varies. And I've found doing stuff on harder surfaces, especially with those harder and more rustic approaches, can be a little tougher on the body. Be careful if you're using anything rusted, because you don't want rustic and rusted. Be careful if you're using anything rusted. You don't want to get cut and you know, have anything be infected and whatnot. So all of that safety stuff aside, let's jump in. So this week, I used a towel in my workouts. Okay. So if you're going to use a towel, I usually say it shouldn't be like really small, right? You could use a bigger towel, really good for grip, strength here. Okay, I get to squeeze on that a bit here. Okay, so I can perform quite a bit of motions with this. You know, you can hold it taut, just like that. Okay, you're pulling, so you should feel it in the back here. You hold it taut, you do overhead raise, keeping it taut, and you come to the front, keeping it taut as well. Okay, I've seen people put the towel around something here. Okay, they just pull and they just hold, just like that. Okay, or you might try something else like this, and then you come like that and you hold, and this is for triceps. We can't see it on that side, so let me switch it over. You hold here, you pull this up here, not to show off or anything, I promise, and you just hold taut. Okay, and you hold that for a little bit until your muscle gives out. Whew. Okay, so there are ways to use a towel, okay, just a basic towel, to get your workout. I could even hold this like, I'm trying to think of another way here. I hold this up here, and then I just let myself resist. I hold it out here, and I let myself resist, and this is good for the back muscles here as well. Okay, so you can use a towel to do certain motions as well. Okay, so we got the towel out of the way. There are people who do pull-ups and they will use a towel. It's great for grip strength. Okay, again, great for grip strength. So there's that. Okay, a bottle fell. Let me show you what you can do with these bottles here now. Back in the day, this is a couple of years now, we would take bottles, any kind of drinking bottle, once you're finished with it, and for those of you who love recycling, this is for you as well. You take a drinking bottle, you fill it with water, you fill it with sand, you fill it with mud, you fill it with cement, you fill it with a combination of those things. You just fill it with something heavy, and of course make sure you have, make sure it's secure, because you don't want it falling out all over the place. There's no holes or anything. You fill 2 of these with the same amount, measure them, make sure that they're fine, okay, they're relatively the same weight, and then you can use these as weights, okay. And of course you can go up in size in bottles. You have these bottles here. I'm finding all kinds of random trash around the house to use, right? Great. That's to show how innovative and creative you have to be in this fitness game. So you can fill this with water, you grab the side, rows and whatnot. Before I continue, I will say this as well. You have stuff like this. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, weight can be unbalanced, because whereas a dumbbell, 15 is supposed to be 15. Something like this now, you put sand in one, you put sand in the other. You have to measure it yourself to make sure that it's the correct weight. So pay attention to that, of course. And there are other ways that you can fill this with sand, maybe put it in a plastic bag, wrap the plastic bag really tight, just to make sure that if it does open, it doesn't fly everywhere. Okay. What I'm also going to mention is it's always easier to do single arm stuff when you have unbalanced weight. If you're not sure about being able to say, okay, I'm going to take 2 of these. Instead of taking 2 of these, you take 1 of them, and then you just work on muscles one at a time. Okay, one side, and then you switch over, you do the other side. Okay, you might be able to do like this, you get away, you do this. Okay, various movements can be performed with the weight. Okay, if you're doing like squats, you hold it middle, you hold it like that, you don't hold it like this. Hold it like this. You can take 2 of these, put it in a bag, wrap it in a plastic bag, or wrap it in several plastic bags, and then you hold them together, and then you squat, or you put it on the back. Make sure it's balanced, make sure you're safe, it's not jerking up and down. Put it on each shoulder here, and you squat and you come up. I did not bring a potted plant with me, but I've known people to take a stone, a potted plant, and hold it in front here, perform a squat. Maybe if you're holding it properly, again, be safe, don't want it to fall on anything. You raise it over the head. You may not be able to use that for every exercise, but you can use it for some. Okay, here we go, sweating. You can use books. Okay, these things that we don't like to read anyway. Some of us love to read. Let me hush. So you take up your books, you put them in a bag. Okay, you might be able to get, not the heaviest of things, but hey, there are different kinds of books. Right? I know Harry Potter books are pretty thick and heavy, so you might want to use 2 of those. Again, if they're not balanced, you can put them together, make it in one weight, or right, and your hand will be like this, right, holding it. But the more you have, you just wrap it up in something, make sure it's safe. Again, make sure you wrap it completely. You can wrap it multiple times. All those lovely plastic bags you have laying around, well, they're not laying around, all those lovely plastic bags you have in storage, you want to use those. So books can work as well. Okay, we have Clorox bottles and other bottles. Please make sure there's no Clorox in it. You don't want this stuff falling out on you, especially in your eyes. Anything with a handle is good. As you see, I'm getting a fairly decent workout with this Clorox bottle here. Okay, and talking about bottles and plastic bags, you can put the bottle in the plastic bag, and you can wrap it a few times, of course, and then you have it. If you love your groceries, you're walking home with your groceries, you put a bunch of stuff in a couple of bags, you bag that up, you wrap it up, right, and then you lift, right, with your grocery bags, stuff in the grocery bags. So here's something else now. Talk about plastic bags here. Okay, when I'm talking about plastic bags and groceries, I'm also talking about cans of soup. People have used cans of soup, cans of beans. A little light for my taste, but of course the bigger the better. And what you can do is you can take, I mean, I've seen people take some, tape them up, okay, tape them up a few times, and then they might put them in a bag, okay. They might put the two in a bag, okay, just like that, and you lift it, okay. They might wrap this up, just like that, so the two are in the bag, wrap it up, wrap another bag, you know, just like that, and then they have a weight, and now they can use this, and they could put 2 more cans in here if they want. And again, like I said, when you're using something like this, you do one side, you do the other side. That way, it's a little easier to ensure that the weight you're using is not balanced. So you're not doing like 10 pounds on one side and 8 pounds on the other side. Though there is a style where you can do that, do 10 on one, 8, then switch 10 and 8, you can do that as well. But for those of us who don't want to have to go through that, this is another method, okay? And as I said, brought some extra plastic bags. You bag them within bags, and then you can use it. Okay, so you don't want to use all this trash, right? You want to use some other stuff. You have resistance bands that you can use. I found these resistance bands on Amazon. The brand is, it says superexerciseband.com. So this is a really cool one. I'm going to hold this up, okay? Give you a neat little bag here. I promise I'm not getting any money from it, but hey, if it works, I'm going to share it. Okay, and so these resistance bands are a little different. Most people are accustomed to the cylindrical, like the long cylindrical ones with the handle. These don't come with a handle. Okay, and these have been in here for a while, but as you can see, elastic. Can you hear that? Whoa. All right, and so with these now, I could do so much with these. Okay? I could do so much with these. You know, I can put this on the floor here. Bicep curls. And if this is light, you double, triple band it. Okay? I take this, I put this around this post here. Okay? Grab a little closer here. And I get my workout in. Okay, I get my workout in, all from this band alone, this one band here. What I can also do with something like this, I wrap it around the feet here. Okay, getting real creative. I tie a knot, nothing too crazy. And then I can go like that with these. Of course, this has to be a lot tighter, right? But I can do that. Or I can buy the resistance bands that are smaller. Let me see if I have those. I checked before. Oh, I do. Okay, I have another set, but I don't